Apple Inc. is not just a tech company, it's a cultural phenomenon. At the heart of its creation is Steve Jobs, a man whose life was as unconventional as the products his company created. From his personal quirks to the company's odd beginnings, here are 11 unusual facts about Apple and Steve Jobs, expanded into a narrative that delves into the lesser-known aspects of the tech giant and its enigmatic founder. Steve Jobs' origin story is as unconventional as his career. Adopted shortly after birth, Jobs' biological father was a Syrian immigrant. Despite attempts to reconnect, Jobs maintained his distance, choosing instead to forge his own path without looking back. This sense of independence and self-reliance would later shape his leadership style at Apple, where he was known for making bold decisions and pushing the boundaries of innovation. Jobs' educational journey was brief yet impactful. He dropped out of Reed College after just one semester, but his curiosity led him to audit classes, including one on calligraphy. This class would later influence the distinctive typography that became a hallmark of Apple's aesthetic. Jobs' willingness to explore diverse disciplines and integrate them into his work reflected his belief in the interconnectedness of creativity and technology. The company's name, Apple, was inspired by Jobs' fruitarian diet and his time spent in an apple orchard. It was chosen to represent the company's image as fun and spirited, a stark contrast to the cold, technical names of many other tech companies. This playful branding decision set the tone for Apple's approach to marketing and branding, emphasizing emotional connections with consumers rather than purely technical features. Jobs' iconic black turtleneck, designed by Issey Miyake, became as much a part of his identity as the devices he created. After his employees rejected the idea of a company uniform, Jobs adopted the turtleneck as his personal uniform, amassing around 100 of them. This consistent attire became a symbol of his commitment to simplicity and focus, values that permeated Apple's design philosophy under his leadership. In a move that epitomized his disdain for convention, Jobs exploited a loophole in California's DMV laws to drive a Mercedes without a license plate. He would switch cars every 6 months to avoid the requirement, a testament to his ingenuity and rebellious spirit. This anecdote underscores Jobs' willingness to challenge norms and find creative solutions to perceived obstacles, a trait that defined his approach to both personal and professional challenges. Before settling down with Laureen Powell, Jobs' romantic life included a relationship with folk singer Joan Baez. Their connection was described by Jobs as serious, hinting at a personal life that was as rich and complex as his professional one. This glimpse into his personal relationships humanizes Jobs, showcasing the emotional depth and complexity behind his public persona as a tech visionary. Jobs' quest for spiritual enlightenment took him to India and into the practice of Zen Buddhism. This spiritual journey deeply influenced his minimalist design philosophy, which would become a defining feature of Apple's products. The emphasis on simplicity, clarity, and harmony in Apple's design language can be traced back to Jobs' experiences with Zen Buddhism, highlighting the intersection of spirituality and creativity in his life and work. The pricing of the original Apple I computer at $666.66 is a result of Steve Wozniak's preference for repeating digits and represented a 1/3 markup on the wholesale price. This quirky pricing detail has become a part of Apple lore, reflecting the early days of scrappy entrepreneurship and the founder's playful approach to business decisions. Jobs' journey was not limited to Apple. He acquired a computer graphics division from Lucasfilm and transformed it into Pixar Animation Studios, leading to a renaissance in animated films and eventually a merger with Disney. This diversification of interests and investments demonstrated Jobs' visionary mindset and his ability to identify opportunities beyond the tech industry, leaving a lasting impact on the entertainment landscape. With over 300 patents to his name, Jobs was not just a visionary, he was a prolific inventor. His patents cover a wide range of technologies and designs, showcasing his role as a leading figure in innovation. Jobs' passion for creating groundbreaking solutions to complex problems drove Apple's product development efforts, cementing his legacy as a pioneer in the tech world. Jobs was known for his eccentric dietary habits, which at one point consisted solely of carrots and apples. This diet reportedly altered his skin color, adding to the list of peculiar anecdotes associated with his name. Jobs' unconventional approach to health and wellness reflected his willingness to experiment and challenge conventional wisdom, a mindset that extended to his professional endeavors at Apple. Steve Jobs was a man of paradoxes. He was a Zen Buddhist who built a corporate empire, a dropout who revolutionized multiple industries, and a visionary who saw beauty in simplicity. His life was a series of bold choices that defied expectations and conventions. Apple, under Jobs' leadership, mirrored his unconventional approach. From its inception in a garage to its status as a global powerhouse, Apple has always stood out from the crowd. Its products are not just tools but statements of design and innovation. The company's history is filled with oddities, from its naming and pricing strategies to its corporate culture and public image. Jobs' legacy is not just in the devices that changed the world, but in the stories that reveal the human behind the brand. His quirks, his genius, and his eccentricities have become as legendary as the iPhone or the Macintosh. They remind us that at the core of innovation lies not just logic and calculation, but also intuition, playfulness, and a willingness to embrace the weird. In the end, the tale of Apple and Steve Jobs is a reminder that the path to success is not always straight. It can be winding, dotted with strange facts and unusual practices. It's a journey that requires not just intelligence and skill, but also the courage to be different. And perhaps that's the weirdest fact of all, that in a world that often values conformity, it was a man who dared to be different who created the most universally recognized company on the planet.